There was an unusual taste in the air. The Admiral was used to the dank atmosphere of London, with its combined stench of putrid water, excrement, and the filth pumped from the workhouse chimneys, even now on this chilly early morning as he enjoyed his customary walk of solitude. Yet today the air was different, like the taste of ozone hitting the back of one's throat after a lightning strike. The odour seemed strongest down Cloth Fair Street. It was narrow and muddied, and the Admiral was careful with his step. Although he had given up the attire of his military days, he hadn't been able to lose either his taste for fine clothes or his title. A figure was standing motionless at the far end of the passage. It had the silhouette of a child. "Hello there," the Admiral called cautiously. "Have you lost your way?" It was obviously an urchin, but it didn't hurt to ask. The child remained static. As he approached, the Admiral saw that the youngster was a boy. "No need to be afraid, lad," he reassured him. "You won't come to harm." He stopped in his tracks and gasped as a shard of morning light fell upon the child. Good Lord. The young boy was emaciated. Not just starved or in ill health, but skeletal. The Admiral wanted to embrace him, but he was afraid even to touch him. Such was the urchin's delicate condition. Stepping closer, the Admiral realised with horror that although the boy's eyes were open, they were completely dead. The body lilted, as if swaying in the breeze, and then collapsed in a heap. Crouching beside the child, the Admiral wrapped his forefinger in a handkerchief and dared to touch the boy's ribs. Instantly, two of them snapped, and the Admiral's finger punctured the skin. He recoiled, falling backwards onto the sludge. What in God's name? In shock, he could not complete his exclamation. Some 5 miles west of Cloth Fair Street, the early morning peace was shattered by an eerie tearing and grinding noise. It was as if reality itself was being ripped open. The air warped and shimmered. A gathering of pigeons fled into the air. Next to the rickety wooden doors of a public house cellar, there materialised a battered, blue, 20th century police telephone box, its roof lamp flashing wildly in sync with the alien grinding. The box solidified as, with a satisfying thump, the noise reached its crescendo. The roof lamp died, and silence fell over the street once more. No one in that 19th century London back street could ever have guessed what the police box housed. Inside lay another realm, an infinitely huge space-time ship called the TARDIS. In the ship's clinically white, spacious control chamber, 4 individuals were standing around the hexagonal console that dominated the room, its central glass column rising and falling as it drew on energy from the time vortex. With a pleasant chime, the column slowed and then rested, the continuous hum of power dropping a couple of octaves as the ship materialised at its new destination. One of the 4, a slender woman with auburn hair, clutched her purple shoulder bag. She was dressed in the uniform of an air hostess, evidence of her real-world profession. "I don't suppose there's any point in asking where we are." Studying the controls was a tall man, apparently in his early 30s. He was wearing a white cricket pullover with a red V-neck. 2 red question marks graced the collar of an otherwise pure white shirt. Complementing his top were a pair of red and white striped trousers and training shoes. He looked like he could be a final-year head pupil of some British public school. A fringe of fair hair hung over his nonplussed face. "Have a little faith, Tegan," the man said. Tegan pressed him further, her Australian accent now more acute. "Doctor, do you know where we are?" The doctor touched his temples with his middle fingers. No. "I knew it,"